Welcome back to the Pint-Sized Biker. Today we're going to do another buying guide, this time of a Norton Commando. We're going to see what is out there in 2025, what the prices are like. If I was buying, what would I perhaps go for, and any tips I might have along the way. I owned a Norton Commando from 2015 for 5 years, 1974 Mark IIA Interstate in red. So I picked up a bit of knowledge from them, and it was my dream bike anyway because my dad had had one from new, so I always wanted one. So let's dive straight into it. So pricing, I bought mine for £6,000. Now in the last 10 years the market shot up massively, especially just after COVID, but it's really dipped price wise, which if you're buying is great, if you're selling not so good. So I would be looking now between £6,000 and really no more than 9. I think to be more than 9, it'd have to be something very special about it. And the models you're looking at, they come in a 750, which I think was a 745, and an 850, which was an 828. And largely in a Roadster tank, which is a thinner tank, or the Interstate, which is a much bigger petrol tank and a bigger, wider seat as well. If you're short-legged, maybe look at the Roadster. I had an Interstate, and I was on my toes. I think if I bought one now, I'd just go for the Roadster. But I wanted an Interstate because that was my dream bike, so you've got to give these things a go. The electric start came in from 1975 onwards on the Mark III, 850 only. Wasn't the greatest electric start in the world. There are upgrades that you can get for it to make it better, and there are now kits that you can get for the older Commandos. You have to do some modifications to the primary chain case and things like that. It might even come with a new primary chain case, can't remember. But there's a company in France called Norton, and there's Colorado Norton that also do one, and I believe there's another company out there that do some as well, but they're the two obvious ones. So let's dive straight in. We have here a Roadster, 750 in red. This is in Kent, in Broadstairs. This has been on eBay for ages, but it is a good looking motorcycle, but I don't know why it's been on for so long. It comes with a spare tank. That's a JPS tank, but that looks like an Indian, a newer Indian tank, because that doesn't look right on the Norton badge. But aside from that, a nice looking machine. It's got upgraded stainless rims, which is always a good thing. And it generally looks in good condition, and it's a good price. It's a good price, and there's loads of documents with it as well, which is always good. So if you've got any of the history, it really helps, because the problem is with these bikes now, they're outside of the 40-year tax and MOT exempt. So seeing their history of their mileage to see if they're running and being used is actually now much harder, because people just won't get them MOT'd. So I'd want to see one running. So I'd ask for a video of one being kick-started over from cold to see what it's like. 6,250. So yeah, and matching numbers as well, which is always quite useful to know. Good looking bike, good price. 6,500 there, 6,250 in the description. So don't pay 6,500. Next we have a blue Interstate 750 once more. That's a really nice colour blue, and you've got the original exhausts on there as well, rather than those ones that it's got on it, those reverse cone ones that are on it. Yeah, that's a nice looking bike, and you're getting it from a dealer, so delivery will be available in the comments. It says it's available as well. Local machine, matching numbers. Yep. Detailed maintenance file, again very important. Price 7,495. So it's £1,000 up on the previous one, but it does look very nice. Doesn't have the upgraded brake. There was a normal brake on the other one that I failed to mention. It's got the standard Lockheed, which looks stunning, but not quite as effective. To be honest, I upgraded mine and it was much better once I just upgraded the whole brake system. Put a new disc, new caliper on. Made a world of difference in the modern traffic. It gave you a bit more bite and a bit more feel. That's a great looking bike. That's a very, very nice. Yeah, those clocks, fantastic. And there's a choke on there. I didn't have the choke on mine. It had been removed before I got it. 1972 black. I'll get to a picture of it. An Interstate this time. So you can see there, see how wide that Interstate tank is. So the previous one was an Interstate as well. Massive, massive tank on the Interstate. It does look fantastic. 6,950, so it's not a bad price. That's one of the ones where the bottom half of the engine isn't black, so that did change throughout its life. And there were various different engine configurations. Obviously, I've said the 750 and the 850, but there's also a combat engine that was more highly tuned, that was not as reliable, bit hit and miss on its history, or when it came out, and it didn't last very long because of that. You know, in production, it lasts very long. But I believe there's been upgrades to them since then. So if you do come across a combat engine, and I think somewhere stamped on there's a C, so do your research before you go. Online on Access Norton forum and on the Facebook Norton groups, there's a wealth of knowledge. So if you're unsure, find out the engine number or frame number, or engine and frame number combined, and put it on there, and people have so much information, you'll be able to find whether it was originally a combat engine or not. And there was also a change in the frames around 72, 73. The frames started being done by an Italian company. Now, when I got mine, I remember reading that wasn't as good quality as the original, the British made. But I looked up yesterday before doing this video if that was still the common belief, and it's not, it's changed. So I wouldn't lose sleep where the frame's made. Just give it a good once over. Not as nice, I don't think, as the blue one, but still a nice looking bike. And again, below 7 grand. I think that's where you need to be price wise. And I'm going to throw a wild card into this later on, which is a Norton, but not an 850 or a 748 Commando. It's a different model as an alternative if you are looking. But before we get to that, here we've got another one at M&S again. This is a custom one, clearly, because you've got the alloy tank and you've got the clip-ons. Dad had clip-ons on his Interstate. He was 21 at the time. He said he wouldn't do it later on in life because it would really give you a backache, because it's a very long motorcycle for the time. But that does look quite cool. And if you're in the market of doing something a bit more custom, I mean, 8 grand's a lot for something that's not original, but that might be a good starting point to modify. And it does look in very, very good condition. There was something quite interesting on this. On the brake, so again, another one that had a brake upgrade, RGM caliper on that. But the bracket to fit to the forks is a Gus Kuhn. Now, my dad's 850 Commando, 1973, I think, that was from Gus Kuhn. So they were a dealership in London. They did aftermarket parts for British bikes, specialised mostly in Commandos, but I think they also looked after Suzuki's and some other brands. And it's quite cool that it's got that. It doesn't really make any difference, I don't think, to the value. It's just quite a nice thing, because that would be an original part. That's pretty neat, but pricey at 8 grand. A 850 this time, a Mark IIA, which was the same model as mine, but this is a Roadster in a JPS colours. Again, I'm not 100% sure how original that tank is, because something about it doesn't quite look right. But an otherwise nice looking motorbike. And that seat doesn't quite look right as well. That curves, I don't think that was quite right for that model. But, you know, still a great looking bike otherwise. Looks a bit dusty in some of the photos, so it might have sat for a while. Though in the description it does say that there's a video of it running, so I'd ask for that video and make sure it's from cold as well. A nice 850 there, again, not standard tank because it was never in red and gold, but it does look nice. It's got aftermarket downpipes. 7,950, again, it's the very top end, but it does look in really good condition and largely original style parts. Again, an RGM disc, sorry, RGM caliper on the front, and a drilled disc, so not original disc, so that's probably got a much better brake. And aftermarket downpipes. Not a huge fan of them. I don't think they look great, if I'm honest. But and that seat, that was more what I was expecting. When I was talking about the other one, that's more what I think the seat would be. And you can get them. There's lots of aftermarket companies. There's RGM, Andover, Norville. They're the ones that are obvious. Other places that specialise in actually modifying the bikes. Close to me is Norman White. He did a lot of work on my Commando. He upgraded the isolastic to a Mark III, which I recommend because it's much easier to maintain. Did great work on the bike. They dented my tank. We fell out over that. Next we have a Mark III 850. So this is an electric start Mark III. The original electric start, as I said before, wasn't great, so I'd want a video of that running or ask if there's been any upgrades to any modern parts on it. That's a nice looking Commando. I like it in silver. It's not standard, because that blue and red wouldn't have been what the coaching was. It would have been black and red. That's got a silver jubilee vibe to it. So that's not original, but that's not detracting from the fact it's a nice looking bike. I'll just see there because I'm going through the pictures. That wide tank and wide seat on the Interstate, massive. Really comfortable for long distance, but means your legs not quite close to the ground. Indicator left and right on this one. On the earlier models, up and down. That was confusing for my very simple brain. And the other thing to note, again from my experience, I don't think there's a huge amount you can really do about it, is the side stand. Now, it was this on the side stand in the photos. It's very far forward compared to a modern bike, and with my short legs, with the larger seat and the higher seat of the Interstate, I couldn't quite reach that when sat on the bike, which was really irritating. If you were like, say for instance, you've got a pillion on the back and you then wanted to straighten the bike up, flick that side stand down and go, couldn't, which was really annoying. And I never saw an aftermarket for it that you could change that frustratingly, like move it back. You can buy aftermarket side stands that clamp to the frame, but it's quite a thin frame on a Commando, so I wouldn't 100% recommend doing that. Solo, it was fine because you just rocked it off the centre stand or clicked the side stand up before you got on it. 8250, again, we're tipping higher. The electric starts have always been more expensive. I'd be wanting to haggle that down to 7.5. I wouldn't want to spend more than that. And a wild card I mentioned earlier. So I know this bike. A friend of mine on Instagram and YouTube. This is his bike that he's selling. Not a Commando, as you can see. It's a 650 SS Dominator. But £5,000, and this is a well-maintained bike. Loads of history, loads of videos on YouTube as well of him riding it. Point of view videos, real brilliant, lovely sound. So if you are looking at a Commando, but perhaps the price for a real sorted out, good condition one is perhaps slightly out your price range, consider the Dominator. It's still a fantastic bike. It will vibrate more because it doesn't have the ice-elastics, which, and how that works is, and you may well know if you're already looking, is that once you get to certain revs, the ice-elastics kick in and the vibration disappears, and it's fantastic. You start the bike up at standstill on a Commando and the thing rattles like crazy. Rev it above a certain RPM and it smooths out. Will still be fast, will handle fantastically with that frame, and what a great price at £5,000. Check him out on Instagram and YouTube and give him a shout. He's a really lovely chap, and he'll happily have a chat with you about the bike. And if you're looking for a great Norton, that's a wild card. So yeah, hopefully that's been useful in terms of seeing what the market's like for a Norton Commando currently in 2025, and hopefully that give you a bit of a starting point on if you're going to buy one. If you've owned one, put some comments below. Always great to hear from previous owners because they've got all the knowledge. You know, they've been there, done it, maybe been left by the side of the road with it or cursed it, trying to start it. Ride safe and see you soon.